Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Ruach HaKodash. Alright, something quick I'm going to hear that through the Spirit. And that's, facing fear. Alright, being that we dwell in the flesh, being that soon, we're coming into a times that, as scriptures say, are like none ever before. All right. And it's funny how the Lord made man weaker. All right. Made us softer and so on and so forth. And now he's getting ready to put us through, the hardest times ever. All right. And that's to truly test our faith, But it's the book of Isaiah, chapter 41, verse 10. And it reads, "Fear thou not, for I am with thee. Be not dismayed." All right, that first point, fear thou not. All right, that's a lot, harder, easier said than done. Slack it. All right, because being that we're in the flesh, fear is a feeling, an emotion that arises. All right, that shows face. But the point is to for us to literally have zero fear. All right, that's going to take a heavy spirit for the Lord to put on an individual, and being that we're in the flesh, being that we're men, all right, being that we're human, we do fear certain things, but it's about not letting that fear, all right, so like not letting that fear override your faith. All right, it's supposed to be the opposite. Your faith in the Lord has to override that feeling of fear, so that feeling doesn't take the control seat. All right, and then you start moving and operating, based off of your fear instead of your faith. All right, instead of your mental clarity in Yahweh Ba'ashem Habashai. That takes precedent, man. That should always be in that driving spot. Okay, not any emotion, rather. You don't let your emotions, all right, take the driver's seat, man. They don't take the wheel. All right, now that's not to say you suppress your emotions, because that's not, good for one either, but you just don't let them control. You still move with the wisdom of Yahweh Ba'ashem Habashai. So as it's saying here, fear thou not, for I am with thee. Knowing that the Lord is with us, even through these trying troubles, is what allows us, all right, for those who trust in the Lord, all right, to get through those troubles. Our faith and trust in Yahweh Ba'ashem Habashai is going to, override or supersede the fear that we have in the flesh. That's why scriptures say that the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. Roughly paraphrasing. Let's grab that. It's the book of Matthew, chapter 26, verse 41. And it reads, "Watch and pray that ye enter not into temptation. The spirit indeed is willing, all right, but the flesh is weak." And that's why your flesh, your spirit has to be strong. All right, your spirit has to be strong in Yahweh Ba'ashem Habashai, because if your flesh is already weak, and then your spirit is weak on top of that, you're bound to fail. In fact, you've already failed, just not physically yet. And to keep our spirit strong, as it says, watch and pray, prayer. All right, asking the Lord for certain things, even when you don't pray for strength in the spirit specifically, any prayer is strengthening your spirit, because it's strengthening your faith in the Lord in general. To be able to come to the Lord with any and every situation, man. That builds our trust in the Lord. That builds that connection. So watch and pray that you enter not into temptation. The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak. All right, and through the spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Habashai, our spirits are going to be strengthened to the point where it doesn't matter how weak our flesh is, man, because our spirit is what's going to operate our flesh anyways. All right. And it has to be in the spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahawashi. That's the only way to make it through. So going back and finishing this off, Isaiah chapter 41 verse 10. Fear thou not, for I am with thee. Be not dismayed, for I am thy God. I will strengthen thee. Yeah, I will help thee. There it goes, that strengthening. All right. Once we begin to show the Lord through the faith that we have, all right, through the faith that we currently have now in those times, once we begin to act on that faith, though our flesh is fearing, right, though we're afraid or whatever it is, once we still show the Lord that we are with him, all right, that we still trust in him and have faith in him, the Lord is then, as people say, all right, the Lord is going to take the wheel. He is going to strengthen our spirits in him. He just wants to see us act first, all right, and then he'll, hold us up and guide us through, man. All right, I will strengthen thee. Let's grab the book of Psalms, chapter 10, verse 17. It's the book of Psalms, chapter 10, we start at verse 16. The Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahawashi, is king forever and ever, and the heathen are perished out of his land. Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahawashi, thou hast heard the desire of the humble. All right, who are the humble? Ultimately, those who serve, all right, who have humbled themselves to the will of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahawashi. Thou wilt prepare their hearts. All right, preparing, part of that preparation. Let's first look into these words real quick. Prepare, kawan, to be firm, be stable, be established. All right, to be set up, be established, be fixed. I like that, be fixed. To be firmly established, to establish, set up, accomplish, to make firm. So what is the Lord going to establish? What is the Lord going to fix? What is he going to tweak? What is he going to upgrade? Right? Our hearts, man, our minds, our spirits during those times in order to make it through. Look into this word heart, labab, or lab here. Inner man, all right, mind, will, heart, understanding. Now, focusing on this word will, well, we are, we try to the best of our abilities to do what? The will of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahawashi. So why then would the Lord, turn his back on us, man? He wouldn't. All right, those who serve the Lord and truly, and sincerely trust in him, the Lord is going to be faithful, as it were. All right, we just have to maintain our faith in him as well. The Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahawashi, thou hast heard the desire of the humble. Thou would prepare their heart, all right, going into that strengthening our spirit. Thou wilt cause thine ear to hear, to judge the fatherless and the oppressed, that the men of the earth may no more oppressed. All right, and ultimately, during our times and our tribulation, right, the men of the earth oppressing would be who? Esau, Edom. But the Lord is going to put a stop to all of that, man. We just have to endure, right? And in order to do that, the Lord is going to strengthen our spirits. All we have to do is maintain the faith. So we can finish this off and close it out. That's all I have for today. I gotta start Salakia, but yeah, I'm not trying to go on for too long. It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 41, verse 10, finishing off. Fear thou not, for I am with thee. Be not dismayed, for I am thy God. I will strengthen thee. Yeah, I will help thee. All right, because what would be the purpose of the Lord being our God if when we needed him, he was never there? All right, when we needed him the most, he wasn't there on some Avatar shit, right? This is the Lord's chance, or the Lord's opportunity that he made for himself to show his power to the whole world, in the likes of that he's never done before. All right, to the point where the entire world will once and for all fear Yahweh by Shem Shai. All right, and reverence the names Yahweh by Shem Shai. Why would the Lord, not perform? He is, man. He is. I will help thee, yeah, I will uphold thee with the right hand of my righteousness. All right, we know ultimately that right hand is who? Yahweh Shai. But with that being said, I'll close it out there. Lord willing, this video was edifying, uplifting, and or exhorting in some way, shape, or form. And once more, I would like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh and Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Ruach HaKodesh, and double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the hopeful elect.